Hey everyone, we are watching some noisy thunderstorms west of Bexar County this evening. In fact, we have two severe thunderstorms in place right now, one over Uvalde and also one over Maverick County, and the one over Maverick County will continue through 9:15. Now, I just want to point out one thing. Tornado threat for tonight will remain very, very, very low. It's not zero, but it is going to stay low for a lot of us in South Texas. You know, one thing you'll also note if you are in Hondo and you're looking west toward Uvalde, you're probably seeing a lot of cloud to ground lightning strikes, frequent cloud to ground lightning, wind gusts of 60+ miles per hour, and also penny-sized hail will be the main concerns with these storms as they move eastward. One thing I do want to point out too is that there is a marginal risk now over Bexar County. That's just a level 1 out of a 1 to 5. So we still have that lingering severe weather threat as we head into the evening hours. So let's look at a few timings here. First storm I'm going to point out is the one right over Uvalde. So pretty noisy, looking at heavy rain and also really high wind gusts. I've been watching this storm for several hours, really all these storms, while they were over Mexico and over Del Rio. Now, Del Rio did not have a severe thunderstorm warning, but parts of Uvalde County, they've kind of been under that warning for over an hour now. So there's that warning in place through 8:45. This includes Uvalde and Zavala counties. And then taking you south into Maverick County here. So this does not include Eagle Pass. This storm is actually east of you in Eagle Pass. This warning is in effect through 9:15. So again, like I said, the primary concerns being 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. Want to take you back toward to give you a view of the entire viewing area, just so you can see where these storms are in reference to San Antonio. Also taking lightning off, you can't really see any hill cores, and that's one thing we've been watching is most of these showers and storms have been kind of fluctuating a little bit in intensity. So they'll grow a little hail core and then they'll go back down in size. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. Let's read a few of your comments too. If you have any comments, feel free to comment on this Facebook Live. We have Sue saying hi, Seth saying hi, Megan, Jennifer Sanders saying what's up. Well, Jennifer, we're just tracking storms west of Bexar County right now. Linda saying hello from New Braunfels. Hey, Linda, glad that you're joining us tonight. We're getting a hi. And Ola, evening, Kins 5. Where's the rain? Well, the rain right now is over Uvalde County and also Maverick County. A lot of it over La Pryor down into Crystal City, starting to pick up on heavy rain. Like I said, we are under that level 1 marginal risk up to a level 2 slight risk over the hill country and western counties. And we're talking about Valverde County as one of our western counties. Also, speaking of Valverde, you guys are included in that severe thunderstorm watch until 10 p.m. So we're pretty close to that. That's why I say, you know, stay weather aware. Have our KINS 5 app. We have free weather alerts available on the go, a free radar, and also I've updated the weather blog. So you can also check that out. Anne saying, hi, Meg. Bill's not in tonight. He's actually enjoying his day off. He's been working very hard this past week, so much deserved day off for him. So he's not joining us today. Getting another hello. Sherry saying hi. Sue wants to know any hail. Well, Sue, at this point, the only size hail that we're looking at is just penny size. So as far as the hail threat, you know, we're not looking at quarter size at this point. But I will tell you that's just over Uvalde County. The one over Maverick County is actually producing quarter size hail. So I should say that. Audrey saying hello. Do you have an update here?
Yeah. So meteorologist Andrew Wilson here. I'm just kind of off screen.
Yes,
I'm tracking
Andrew's
some
helping
stuff.
me tonight.
Tracking a few things that the National Weather Service are saying.
Okay.
It looks like an inch and a quarter of an inch and a quarter, or 1.25 inches, size for the hail possibility in that storm in Maverick County?
So a little bit larger than a quarter size there in Maverick County. So that's what that severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be the primary threat with that one. Over Uvalde, I've looked at velocity. So when we're talking about velocity, this is wind going toward the radar and also wind going away from the radar, and that's in the red color. So what I'm going to do is pause it and see the really bright reds over Uvalde. That's radar indicated high wind gusts. So we could even see over 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts right there in Uvalde. Someone had commented saying really bad in Uvalde. I'll have to find this comment here. But we're just looking at a lot of lightning too. We've been watching that. I'm going to go back to showing the entire viewing area here. Skipped ahead. And just show you all the cloud to ground lightning strikes. In fact, the National Weather Service, they said the storm over Uvalde, and this was about 45 minutes ago, 45 minutes to an hour ago, they said that there were 500 cloud to ground lightning strikes in 15 minutes. So that's a lot of lightning. Head indoors, you know, we've been talking about this Severe Weather 101 in a lot of our Cloudy with a Chance of Learning classroom talks. And we say, you know, when thunder roars, go indoors. So that's the best thing you could do. Just wait for storms to pass. They are moving a little quicker. And, you know, during the 5 and 6 p.m. newscast, I did say that, you know, some of these showers and storms could move into Bexar County around midnight. I still think they could move in around midnight, but I'm actually thinking maybe a little bit earlier since they're only about a county and a half away from Bexar County right now. Severe weather threats still low in San Antonio, so we'll have to watch as these storms move east, see if they hold together. There's still a lot of lightning, so that tells me these storms are still strong. It was very hot and humid today, still a little windy. If you hear the wind outside your window, we've had gusts up to 30 miles per hour, but with that heat and that humidity, that daytime heating has really helped our atmosphere become unstable. So since we still have that instability in place and the sun is, you know, still setting, we still have the environment favorable to support some strong to severe storms. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Okay, there it is. Horrible in Uvalde right now. Got that. I hope you guys are okay over there. Let us know what you see. You know, you're our eyes out there. What we can see is on radar, of course, and in Bexar County, since KINS 5 is in Bexar County. But let us know what you see out there. You guys are eyes. So we want to know any hail reports, of course, you know, safely send it to us. If you've had a high wind gust at your house, if you have a rain gauge, you can, of course, step out once these storms pass. And let us know how much rain you've received. I'm going to be surprised if a lot of these are very heavy rain producers, maybe rainfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour. So definitely would not be surprised about that. So if you're just joining us, we do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in place. The primary concern with the severe storm right over Uvalde in some parts of Zavala County. Of course, this warning goes into effect through 8:45. So we still have, you know, about 13 minutes, give or take, on this storm. The primary threat, 60-plus-mile-an-hour wind gust. You know, we've had a few of you saying it's really bad in Uvalde right now. Just stay inside. I know storm anxiety is a real thing, but you know, the good news is we're not looking at a tornado threat. So that's something you don't have to worry about this evening. As far as County, this is east of Eagle Pass. I'm going to pause this to what we're looking at now. Still a pretty good hill core. So that's something we're looking at. This is, of course, southeast of Eagle Pass, southwest of Crystal City. You can see it on the map there. So that there is a severe thunderstorm warning in place through 9:15. So wouldn't be surprised to see some quarter-size hail, maybe a little bit larger than quarter-size there in Maverick County. Of course, the National Weather Service, they have said that 60 mile per hour wind gust along with quarter-size hail will be the 2 primary threats with that warning currently over Maverick County. Let's look at this watch too, because I talked about this during the 5 and 6 p.m. newscast. There is no severe thunderstorm watch in place for Bexar County as of right now. Yeah, there's no talk from the National Weather Service about extending the watch. So this watch will continue until 10 p.m. Of course, right now, most storms are east of Del Rio. Let's look at a few time casts here, because because a lot of you asking about your neighborhoods and how you guys need the rain. Let's look at some of the weather models. I've actually posted 2 here, and I just want to show you the perspective of what we're looking at behind the scenes as far as our forecasting. So this is one weather model. This is the weather model that I actually showed during the 5 and 6 p.m. newscast. Notice we're starting the clock at 8 p.m. and this weather model is running a little behind, but it is doing a great job on showing where those showers and storms are moving and where they originated. So, you know, they started ahead of a dry line out into West Texas, also over Mexico. They're still on that easterly track, and I talked about how storms could be right around San Antonio, right around midnight, I should say. So let's look at a second weather model here. This is a different weather model. Right now, it's actually doing a great job picking up where showers and storms currently are. So right over Uvalde, down into Eagle Pass. But one thing to point out is this weather model is a little bit stronger. So we'll go through slowly through the timeline here, still showing weakening as it moves east. So I think that's a consistency with a lot of weather models. A lot of weather models are showing storms weakening as they push east. Now, like I said, they could move into San Antonio a little bit before midnight now. So right around, I'd say 11 p.m. So we still have the ingredients to support some strong storms. And I think the primary concern here will be strong wind gusts. We'll go back to radar here just to give you an idea of what's going on. Of course, lightning is going to be a big threat. And, you know, we've been talking about meteorologist Andrew Wilson. He's sitting right next to me, helping me with Facebook Live, but our whole KINS 5 weather team, we've been talking about a lot of rain moving through over the next couple of days. Not everyone's going to see every day, and it's most certainly not going to rain all day. However, we are looking at the threat for some localized and flash flooding over the next couple of days. This is actually our first wave of rain. We're going to see another wave move through Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, also on Memorial Day, and we'll 60% chance of rain on Tuesday. And even into Tuesday evening, we're still looking at numerous showers and storms likely. So this is actually the best time to load the KINS 5 app so we can keep you updated on any flood concerns or weather alerts or weather threats that may happen over the next couple of days.
Yeah, and Megan, you know, I want to mention something when you just talked about that flooding. Up towards Post, Texas, this is closer towards Lubbock. They're having flooding along the river.
Okay.
This is the same kind of setup we have. You know, it's going to be easy for a storm to set up over and cause a lot of flooding very fast. This happened really quick. I'm seeing a lot of videos on Twitter, and the National Weather Service is talking about it. We've got to watch these storms closely. So everyone at home, please take these showers and storms pretty serious here these next few days, because if we get a really heavy rainfall event, I think the main risk we've got these next few days is going to be flash flooding. 3 to 5 inches of rainfall is a lot of rain in just a few days, especially for our area. Now, back where I grew up, it's not as much back in Mississippi, but if we get 3 to 5 inches of rain in South Texas, that is a lot of rain quick.
So let's see. Catherine saying, need someone to answer our question. There are so many questions coming in and it's just flooding my phone. So feel free to ask it again and I'll do my best to answer that. So yeah, if you're in the path of these storms, just giving you a heads up that there are 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in place. Right over Uvalde, we're still looking at very high wind gusts. So if you happen to live in Uvalde or in Uvalde County, let us know what you're seeing. And of course, that severe thunderstorm warning dips south into Zavala County. So that warning's in effect through 8:45. Right now it's about 8:38, approaching 8:40 here. You know, we've been talking about several rounds of storms, and on Sunday, make sure to keep your eyes on the sky once again. A lot of south at level 1 marginal risk up to a level 2 slight risk right over the hill country. We have, hi Megan from the Alamo Ranch area. Hey, glad that you're joining us. Richard wants to know, is that lightning along with storms? Yes, just a lot of cloud to ground lightning with these storms. We have Cheryl joining us from Pipe Creek. Yeah, Frank, looking at Bandera, they're definitely going to get rain too. How about Kerrville? That's what Ronnie wants to know. So let's go back to what we're looking at currently, and I will pause this for you. So we're looking at a lot of cloud to ground lightning just west of Kerrville. So we're still going to see pockets of blinding rain, very noisy storms moving through. But one thing you'll notice is these storms are moving east at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So it's really not going to last that long. It's going to be pretty stormy for about 45 minutes to about an hour and a half in your area, and then they're going to continue to move east. This is about a county and a half away from San Antonio, from Bexar County, so that's why we're keeping our eyes on it. But right now, still looking at a very low tornado threat. As far as temperatures right now, let's see some of the ingredients that we're kind of working with outside. We're at 87 in San Antonio, but because of the recent in Rock Springs right now, 64 degrees. So that's a pretty big difference. We have low 70s right now in Del Rio, upper 70s in Eagle Pass. As that heavy rain moves through, it just gets cooler and cooler. Andrew, do you have an update?
Yeah, the National Weather Service has reported that they said they had a few calls coming around the area.
Okay.
And a few people estimated the winds to be around 35 to 50 miles per hour. So that would be below thunderstorm wind speed. So it doesn't really with the 60+ mile per hour winds that the radar has been showing. That's what the National Weather Service is talking about. Of course, 60+ mile per hour winds is when they issued the severe storm warnings. And based on the fact that they're seeing the winds a little bit lower, the National Weather Service is talking about letting the Uvalde warning go and replacing it with a strong storm. Basically advisory.
So a significant weather advisory.
Correct.
So it's not quite that severe thunderstorm criteria. I guess it's weakened just a little bit. However, you know, don't let your guard down. These storms can flare up once again. Still looking at a lot of lightning with this storm.
Yeah, and the National Weather Service just issued that significant weather advisory for Medina, eastern Uvalde, and northeastern Zavala counties, as well as northwestern county.
Okay, and how long does the advisory go in effect for?
That's until 9:45 p.m.
Okay, 9:45. So that's going to be just before the 10 o'clock newscast. So I will definitely talk more about that significant weather advisory, give you guys the latest update on that storm. Let's go ahead and dive into the Uvalde storm. I'm curious to look at velocity again, just to see. These graphics just keep advancing, so just bear with me, guys. I just want to see the high wind gust. So it looks like the highest winds right now should be east of Uvalde, so headed toward Medina. And also just heads up to Hondo, you guys could get some of this these high winds, and also penny-sized hail will be a concern too. Okay, so I was talking about temperature and how we cooled off really, really nicely. Where the rain is falling, you can definitely tell. Rock Springs at 64, we're still at 87, very warm in San Antonio, and also really humid. You know, it's been humid for the last couple of days, and, you know, a little teaser here before we get to the 7-day forecast. It's going to stay humid for several days. Now, our temperatures will fall into the 80s, so we're not going to have heat indices, you know, reach the triple digits. Some of us will have heat indices below 90 degrees really beginning tomorrow. So if you like to run like I do, you know, the morning is going to be great, but, you know, the afternoon is just not going to be that bad. We're not looking at, you know, heat indices in the triple digits like we've had the last couple of days. So even though it is going to stay humid, we'll actually have high temperatures fall into the upper 80s in many neighborhoods tomorrow. In fact, Sunday high temperatures, we have a forecast high of 87 in San Antonio. Stay weather aware. A lot of South Texas still under that level 1 marginal risk, up to a level 2 slight risk over Del Rio into Valverde, and also parts of the hill country. So we still have the threat for severe storms on Sunday. You know, I showed this graphic earlier, kind of laying out that rain timeline. Up to 50% of us looking at scattered showers, and a few storms could become strong to severe Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. So we'll keep a 50% chance of rain Sunday and a Sunday evening, but bump it back up to a 60%. So that includes majority of our viewing area Monday into Monday night. Now, numerous showers and storms may be likely early week, but we're actually looking at a very low severe weather threat on Memorial Day. So, probably not going to be the best week for any outdoor activities. I think Wednesday is going to be our driest day on the 7-day, but of course, that's still several days out, so we'll keep our eyes on that. But as far as that rainfall forecast, and this is only through next Tuesday, most of us looking at 3 to 4 inches of rain. That's going to be now through next Tuesday, with isolated higher amounts up to 6 inches of rain. We're in drought, so when you have a lot of water in a short amount of time, that short window, localized and isolated flooding will be a main concern as we go through this weekend, the second half of our weekend, into Memorial Day. So that's just something to keep in mind. Before we get back to radar, here's a sneak peek at our 7-day forecast. There's Memorial Day. We have, a 60% chance of rain. You can't see it there. I'll have to move that icon, but we actually keep temperatures in the low and mid 80s on Monday. 82 Tuesday, upper 80s Wednesday, Thursday, and a Friday. Our driest days on our 7-day forecast will be Wednesday and a Thursday. I would just say watch for any cloud to ground lightning if you have any outdoor plans. Like I said, not everyone's going to see rain over the next 7 to 10 days, but just keep track of the lightning if you plan to go out on the water or play some golf, whatever you're going to do these next couple of days here.
So the National Weather Service, Megan, has opted to continue the severe thunderstorm warning for Maverick County.
Okay.
That one's until 9:15 p.m.
Okay.
But now they've lowered the size of the hail they think is possible in that storm to just an inch.
Mm-hmm. So I know I have lightning on. I'm going to take lightning off while this continues to roll through. Looks like our hail core has kind of shrunk a little bit. So we're not looking at, big hail like we had. We're actually looking at smaller size hail. So about quarter hail is what we're looking at. That's why that severe thunderstorm warning will continue for Maverick County. Looking up toward Uvalde into Zavala counties, that thunderstorm warning was allowed to expire. So if you're still wondering about that severe thunderstorm warning in Uvalde, that was allowed to expire, but still packing a punch. Just a lot of cloud to ground lightning. The National Weather Service said that they had, one storm produced 500, lightning strikes in 15 minutes, which is insane. And that's just a crazy perspective there. Marcus says, Megan, the Uvalde storm dropped 1 inch of rain here by the hospital. Thank you so much for that report. That's a lot of rain to get in a short amount of time too. I'm driving home from Brackettville to Pleasanton. How does that look? So going toward Pleasanton, you're going to run into that heavy rainfall. So where did I see that? Brianna, I would just really be careful of the heavy rain that you may run into. Remember that storms are moving toward the Pleasanton area. So you're going to run into some pockets of blinding rain. You should see the lightning ahead of you too on the road once you're headed that way toward Pleasanton. Yes, in Uvalde, Texas, lots of thunder, I bet. Let's see. Judy Adams says, seeing clouds building up to the west. I live in Corpus Christi. These are strong storms with a lot of lightning, so I am not surprised. Megan, thank you for the updates on the storm. Hey, you're welcome. Just joined any storms tonight. So there is a possibility that these storms could hold together and move into San Antonio, I'd say right around midnight tonight. These storms are moving a little bit faster than what weather models have been showing. So if they hold together, they could move in around 11 p.m. tonight into about midnight, and then linger through the really early morning hours on Sunday.
Yeah, and those who tuned into Ken's 5 this morning, I was talking about how we were going to have the chance for storms overnight.
Right.
A lot of the weather models, though, were showing these storms move in later, but they've come in a little bit earlier. So it's an overnight thunderstorm event. That's why we had that 70% chance for storms whenever I was on this morning, because a lot of these storms that are moving through now that were expected just a little bit later, this is that overnight storm event.
So they're saying tons of sirens. Maybe the storm did some damage in Uvalde. I hope everyone's okay. We've seen some high wind gusts. So, those with weather stations out there, I would be, wanting to know. I'd be curious to see their reports and, you know, the wind gusts that they've received over there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any reports in for the National Service of any damage. Of course, they're working with the emergency managers for each county and all the towns, trying to gather up all the information. And they're going to keep us, if anything comes into the office, they're going to keep us notified. We're tracking that very close.
So the only severe thunderstorm warning that we have in place right now in our viewing area is Everett County. Storms are still below severe limits, but, you know, we could still get wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour as it moves right over Uvalde County toward the Hondo area. Pockets of blinding rain and a ton of lightning. I'm actually going to put lightning back on. So for those that are just joining us, you could see the lightning that I'm talking about. Just a lot of lightning there. And along the leading edge of these storms, as they move east, that's where we're going to get that wind gust threat. That's where we always get that wind threat. We've seen kind of a gust front in front of these storms too. I've been looking at a few radar products here at home. And I'm seeing the high wind gusts, especially on velocity. So I hope just everyone in Uvalde is okay. Of course, like I've said, we have a very low tornado threat this evening. So if I've missed your call, you've asked about the tornado threat, that's what we're looking at, as a very low threat for this evening. Erica, about San Antonio, I've been talking about this a few times, probably closer to midnight if storms hold together. Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Let's see. Oh, the lights went out for about 10 seconds twice about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, probably a good idea to charge your mobile devices. It's also a great thing about a Facebook Live and going live on our KENS 5. You know, you have us on your mobile devices, so if anything turns severe, we'll of course let you know of that.
Yeah, Megan, I'm looking at some of these gust fronts on radar here just off screen. I see Savinaw, the gust front has arrived there. And Medina, it's right on your doorstep. Kerrville, it's heading in your direction. So no severe thunderstorm warnings in any of those spots, but there are going to be some pickups of the wind here in just a moment. So these storms right now, I'm looking at it, it says nickel-sized hail and wind gust of 50 to 55 miles per hour will be possible with this storm. And it is moving east at 35 miles per hour. So this is the storm that is just east of Uvalde. And they've continued that significant weather advisory for Medina, eastern Uvalde County, and northeastern Zavala into Frio County. And so that significant weather advisory that Andrew was just talking about, that's going to stay in effect until 9:45. I will be off Facebook Live by that time because I do have to get ready for the 10 o'clock newscast. But of course, I'll keep you updated on the newscast and just let you know what's going on radar. But as of right now, I'm not seeing any reports here. Of course, we do have that severe thunderstorm warning, quarter-size hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gust right over Maverick, and that warning will continue through 9:15. And so you see that little warning polygon right here. It's not impacting Eagle Pass. So if you're asking about Eagle Pass, these storms are actually east of you. What we'll have to watch are these, you know, additional showers and storms starting to pop up over Mexico. So we'll also have to watch those as well. So just a lot of cloud to ground lightning. Zoomed into the map here to show you where that warning is. What I'm going to do is cruise up north. I'm not going to move the radar around a lot for you, but I just want you to see where these storms are currently. Do you have an update? Yes, the National Weather Service said they just got a wind estimate of around 50 miles per hour in Sabinal, which is eastern Uvalde County, and they said that that's why they continue this significant weather advisory even now.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Rock Springs got a very good shower, but very strong wind. Yeah, I definitely think so, Maria. Jenny wants to know when we'll be here in SA. I've been saying right around midnight or even possibly 11 p.m. Storms are moving pretty quickly. I mean, 35 to 40 miles per hour. They're moving pretty quickly, and they're only about a county away from Bexar County. So they're approaching quickly. You know, most weather models have been showing the storms moving into San Antonio around midnight. But I think it will be be in the city about a little bit quicker than that. And, we're seeing a lot of lightning right over Uvalde. I'm going to pause it now so you can San Antonio is and also where Uvalde is. So I'm sure if you're looking west in Bexar County, you're probably seeing some pretty good cloud tops in the distance. Hondo as well, just ahead to you, Sabinal, Castroville.
And the National Weather Service has stated that they're going to cancel the warning early for Maverick County because the storm has weakened.
Okay. So the storm is weakening over Maverick County. I have meteorologist Andrew Wilson next to me. I know a lot of you are just hopping onto this Facebook Live. He's helping me check National Weather Service chat. We're just seeing what's going on, what they're looking at. As of right now, Uvalde, that severe thunderstorm warning, that was allowed to expire. Right now, just a significant weather advisory that includes Medina, Frio, into Uvalde counties, and also northern parts of Zavala County, and that's going to continue until 9:45 this evening. The storm's moving east at about 35, 40 per hour. We could still see some strong wind gusts along the leading edge, but I wouldn't be surprised to have some power outages as well. I mean, just allowed to ground lightning. Headed for Hondo, this is going to be a very noisy thunderstorm, pretty good light show. And so, and that we're going to watch just to see if this storm holds together and makes it into San Antonio. And Jason keeps betting money that it's not going to rain San Antonio. So Jason, we will see about that. Oh, wow. Last week's storm destroyed our transformer and left us without power. Man, we have been under this wacky weather pattern for a while now. And in fact, we're looking at this upper level disturbance moving in tomorrow into Memorial Day. And so that's why rain chances stay pretty high over the next couple of days. And we'll just be stuck under this unsettled weather pattern for several days. Rain chances are going to continue all across the 7-day forecast. So that's what we're looking at. As far as temperatures tomorrow, you don't have to worry about, triple-digit high temperatures or even heat indices for that matter. Yes, it's going to stay humid, but temperatures are going to fall just a little bit tomorrow. In fact, where the rain is currently falling, we've seen a bit of a cool down. Rock Springs now at 64, low 70s in Del Rio. A big difference to what you felt like earlier today, 79 in Eagle Pass. Our warmer spots typically are now the cooler spots tonight. Temperature continues to fall in Bexar County. We're now at 84 degrees. We were at 87 earlier. Jason, I don't know. We're watching it though. Let's see. I'm looking at some of these comments. Jenny, you're welcome. I'm glad that we're getting rain though. We definitely need it. We've had a lot of us under drought conditions and a lot of us under extreme drought. It got better this past week. So I know we had the latest drought monitor. It was released on Thursday, and we've seen some improvement with a lot of areas. But, our rainfall for May 2020 still well below normal, so we could definitely use the rain. One thing I do want to show here and cross our fingers that it works correctly. Sometimes this graphic acts up. And no, it's not going to act up today. So this is our rainfall forecast through next Sunday. I think through next Tuesday, a lot of South Texas will receive 3 to 4 inches of rain, locally higher amounts up to 6 inches of rain. So watch out for that. For flood-prone areas, for those of you near creeks and lakes and rivers, really need to watch this. Watch the rain gauge, have the KENS 5 app ready because, we have been talking about as a possibility and a concern the last couple of days. Meteorologist Andrew Wilson talked about it. Paul talked about it. Weather Chief Bill Taylor talked about it. Aisha, we're all on board that isolated flooding will be the biggest concern once we move into early weeks. So we're going to continue with pretty good rain chances even for Memorial Day. So that's going to be on Tuesday. Do you have an update here?
Yeah, so the National Weather Service just got a report in.
Okay.
From Uvalde. It's a report of thunderstorm wind damage. pictures and video they received of a large tree that that had been blown down onto a carport in Uvalde. So not a ton of damage there, but a large tree was taken down onto a carport.
So I'm curious to know if this is going to be a local report now in our city here. See if they've recorded it yet. It doesn't look like it, but so we've had a large tree blown down. That's a report in Uvalde. Actually, there it is. It's bladed. So let's see what the report says here. So there it is. Thunderstorm wind gust of 50 miles per hour. So this is actually a different local report in Uvalde. They haven't put in the damage report yet, but we'll definitely stay on top of that one, let you know what we receive over time. But since we're moving, now that storms are moving into more populated areas, we're going to start getting these reports from the National Weather Service. So we'll keep our eyes on that, but we have had wind gust reports of 50 miles per hour in downtown Uvalde. So heads up to Hondo, along the leading edge of the storm, we could get wind gusts of 50 up to 55 miles per hour. Still a little below severe limits, but honestly, pretty close. Still stay inside. You know, high winds are nothing to mess with, along with lightning. We're still looking at very electric storms moving east. And, you know, looking at this, you know, storms are approaching. You know, they're only one county away from Barrett County. So I think these have a pretty good chance of staying together and moving into Barrett County. So that's what we'll be watching coming up here. So what about Converse? I think Converse could definitely see some rain closer to midnight. And Laura Lee, that's actually what we were just talking about. You know, if this storm right over Uvalde holds together, it could definitely make it into San Antonio. So right now, we're past 9 p.m. These storms are still moving east and still packing a punch. Like we've talked about, penny size up to quarter size hail will be the concerns. But once you get up to quarter size hail, that's when we have that severe thunderstorm warning in place. Storms are not severe right now. In fact, we have had all warnings, or they have all been allowed to expire right now. So now we're just looking at wind as a threat. And that's been the threat, the main threat along here. We've seen showers and storms form ahead of a dry line out in West Texas, also into Mexico. They moved over pretty quickly, and now they're trying to get their act together and form a line as they approach our central counties. So what I'm going to do here is zoom out just a little bit, give you a whole perspective of South Texas, and I will loop it, and just to give you an idea of what showers and storms are doing. So they're getting their act together. They're trying to form this line, and typically when we have a line of storms move through, that's when we get that wind threat. We of course could have hail-produced storms embedded with the main line, but of course this line is moving pretty quickly as well. Moving east at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So it didn't last that in Uvalde up to about, I'd say, a couple of hours maybe. We've seen some heavy rain up toward Bandera into Real counties. A lot of rain over the hill country into Kerrville and Kerr County. Heads up to Kerrville, you guys could get a decent shower with some high wind ahead of that thunderstorm. So that's what we're looking at. I'm going to turn lightning on again just so you can see where all the lightning strikes are. This is why we're staying on top of this. Of course, lightning can strike miles away from where the storm is. And where the storm is located. So lightning will be a primary concern. Charge your devices. This is giving you a heads up, you know, throw your iPhone, your Android on a charger, your iPad, whatever you have, just so you can have that just in case. So thanks for the info. You're welcome. What about Medina Lake? It is possible for Medina Lake to get some showers and storms. You know, we're watching this storm hold together quickly, and if you're in the path of this storm, you could definitely see this heavy rain and this lightning activity. I'm going to check chat just to see if there's any more updates here. So like we said, they've received pictures and a video of a large tree blown down onto a carport in Uvalde. So they received that report right around 40 p.m. And they've also had that 50 mile per hour wind gusts reported in Uvalde. So like I said, let us know what you see out there. You are our eyes. You know, all we can see is really radar. We're located in San Antonio, so of course we know what's going on in Bexar County, but let us know what you see. Send us your reports. Of course, send them safely. Any pictures or videos once the storm passes, you want to send us a picture of your rain gauge, feel free to do so. Just use the hashtag KENS5Eyewitness, and we'll be looking at that there. And we'll be keeping our eyes on that. So we have the 10 p.m. newscast coming up. There is nothing severe on radar right now. We are just watching a line of showers and storms with a wind threat moving toward the Hondo area. So heads up to Hondo. Looking at much hail. In fact, what I want to do here real quick is look at the hail tracker just to see if any of these showers and storms are producing hail. And it looks like right over Uvalde County, there's a little bit of hail there. Mainly pea-size hail, but up to nickel-size hail also possible. And that's going to be north of Sabinal and also east of Uvalde. So even southeast of you, we're looking at pea-size hail. So if you're wondering about the hail threat, we're looking at really small hail with these storms. Like I said, the primary concern will be the wind threat. Let's look at any comments here. Jeanette, any chance of large hail in San Antonio? Jeanette, I think the chance for large hail in San Antonio will be low. I think it's mainly a wind threat for Bexar County. Chad Smith says Harper is getting lots of wind and lightning right now. Oh, I believe it. Pleasanton, question mark. Yeah, I definitely think if these storms hold together, they can move into Pleasanton. In fact, we have a newly issued severe thunderstorm warning here. Let's dive into this one. So this is going to be right on the outside of Bexar County. This is just west of San Antonio. So we have this new thunderstorm warning in place. This includes a little sliver of Bandera County, most of Medina County, and a little bit of Uvalde County. And a little bit of Uvalde County, I mean the extreme eastern portions. So this warning is in effect through 9:45 p.m. So this is a newly issued thunderstorm warning. Looks like the primary concern will be 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And of course, that's going to be right along the leading edge. So pause this just so you can see where the showers and storms are currently. I will take lightning off. We have a little bit of a hail core trying to them within this line, within this storm. But like I said, the hail size less than a quarter, less than 1 inch. Just an idea. So let's look at velocity now, because I'm curious to see.
It looks like that strongest winds are just north of Highway 90, moving from Uvalde County into Medina County.
Okay. So let's look at the hail threat too here. So we have the hail tracker that's showing P up to nickel size hail. So like we said, less than quarter size. We'll go back to right here. There's a lot of lightning with this storm. So this is not far from San Antonio. We do have that new severe thunderstorm warning in place. This goes into effect until 9:45. So we have less than an hour with this warning. Let's see how fast it is moving too. So it's moving east at about 40 miles per hour. It's about 15 miles west of Hondo. So this is 15 miles west of Hondo. What I'm going to do here is I am going to zoom this out just a little bit, and then I am going to put a tracker on this. Since it is moving east at about 40 miles per hour, I just have to update some speeds here. Draw this out. So if this storm were to hold together and move into downtown San Antonio, it would move in just before 11 p.m. So right around 10:30, give or take a few minutes on these times. The storm has been a little slow at times and a little fast at times. So at one point it was moving about 30 miles per hour up to 35. Now it's up to 40. So what that tells me, this is kind of good because because that heavy rain is not going to sit in one spot for a while. So it looks like the flood threat will be pretty low. But if you've had a lot of rain the past couple of days, just watch for that, especially if the soil is already saturated. So Hondo, right around 9:27 p.m. Like I said, the storm is about 12 miles west of Hondo. If you're in Hondo and you're looking westward Uvalde, you are definitely seeing some lightning and probably hearing some thunder or faint thunder at that. Yeah.
So the National Weather Service has issued a flood advisory for parts of Maverick, Zavala, and Dimmitt counties due to the slow-moving storms in that area. That's going to be issued shortly. They said they're about to issue that. So that just goes with what we've been saying. Heavy rainfall is one of the main concerns over these next few days. Yes, we do have some strong to severe storms, but heavy rainfall, localized flooding, going to be a concern.
And some of you were asking about Helotes. The storm holds together, which it's been doing a great job at holding together. It could be in Helotes right around, I would say, 10 p.m. We have Lake Hills about 9:45. A lot of you are asking about Divine, about 9:52 p.m., so about 9:55. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And again, down in Antonio just before 10:30. So we have been showing weather models, and they have been really inconsistent with the timing of showers and storms. But they've been doing a great job on putting where the storms and showers and, showers and storms where they will develop. So they've been developed West Texas into Mexico, and then they have been moving east. So that's one thing weather models have been picking up on and doing a great job on picking that up. So Andrew was just saying, meteorologist Andrew Wilson, the National Weather Service, they have issued a aerial flood advisory for Dimmitt and Zavala counties. That's going to continue through 11 p.m. because of slow moving showers and storms. So what I'm going to do is take you away from this storm, get a wider perspective of what's going on. We'll erase this track here, and then we'll put it into Gen. So the storm's moving over Hondo. Within that severe thunderstorm warning, they're moving pretty quick. They're moving at about 40 miles an hour. Did they say how fast these storms were moving? So it looks like between 1 and 2 inches of rain fallen, and they're looking at, an additional inch of rain to fall. So that's why minor flooding will be possible. So that's northwestern Dimmitt, northeastern Maverick, and southwestern Zavala counties. We have that aerial flood advisory for 11 p.m. this evening. Flash flooding will continue to be a concern tonight into Sunday and also Memorial Day into early. So we're just looking at several waves of showers and storms. Lisa wants to know about Kerrville. So if you're in Kerrville, showers and storms are just west of you and should already be seeing some sprinkles in Kerrville. A lot of lightning too, just west of downtown. So there you go. It is actually just southwest. So just watch for the cloud to ground lightning in Kerrville. Nothing severe in Kerr County. Nothing severe in Bandera, Reynolds County. In fact, Rock Springs. You guys have a little bit of lingering cloud to ground lightning activity. But for the most part, you guys are in the clear. A lot of active showers and storms are just east of you now. And it looks like a lot of them have weakened just a little bit as they moved from Edwards over Real into Kerr County. So that's kind of answering Kerrville there. Bandera, looking at pretty good shower and thunderstorm activity for you. For those in Rock Springs, they said that showers and storms were pretty brief as well. A lot of cloud to ground lightning down into Uvalde, but slowing showers and storms over Maverick County. So our southwestern counties will be dealing with that flood threat this evening. Very slow moving showers will cause some isolated flooding. So we're still looking at a lot of pockets of heavy rain down there. But, Maverick County, they did have that severe storm warning, but that was allowed to expire. So that's what we're looking at. Bill Harding, thank you for the great work tonight and always. Thank you so much, Bill. I appreciate that. Of course, sometimes it's really hard to speak this late, right? Let's see. And the quicker the better. Yeah, definitely. Richard just talked about Kerrville. Most of the showers and storms over the hill country have really weakened as they moved east, but man, we are just watching showers and storms moving into the Hondo area now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in place just west of San Antonio. So this is literally on the outskirts of Barrett County. So for those of you asking about San Antonio, I just put a tracker on this, and the storm is moving east at about 40 miles per hour. It looks like it could be in downtown San Antonio right around 10:30. Again, our 10 p.m. newscast goes from 10 p.m. through 11 p.m. tonight. So unfortunately, I will have to hop off of this Facebook Live, but of course, if we still have some activity going on, I will hop back on the Facebook Live after the newscast. But yeah, we'll be live on KINS 5 from 10 to 11 p.m. Charlie wants to know about New Braunfels. So what I'll do for you, Charlie, is I will pause this. So there's New Braunfels. You can see that a lot of this shower and thunderstorm activity is just west of you, moving into Bandera County. So the storms right over Bandera County, we'll have to see if they hold together. And the ones right over Bandera, they've been kind of weakening just a little bit as they move east. But as for the ones moving toward Hondo, not so much. So that's why they do have that severe thunderstorm warning in place. Richard, thanks for your amazing work. You're welcome. And Lisa, you're welcome. So Angela wants to know about Converse tonight. So Converse, we'll just watch these shower storms to see if they make it toward the Converse area. And then Ashley wants to know about Gonzales. So Ashley, that's actually a great question. So for our far eastern counties, a lot of our weather models have been showing weakening as they move east. So after they hit San Antonio and after they move through Barrett County, they should start to weaken. So we're going to be well into the evening hours once they make it toward Gonzales. So I'm expecting a very low severe weather threat for Gonzales, but we'll just have to watch that. Yeah, the wind is pretty crazy. In fact, I showed a graphic earlier about the wind. Let's see. Yeah, Terry, you were talking about the wind. It is definitely wild today. We've had gusts up to 30 miles per hour in the city, even higher at times. I'm looking for, here's the wind gust right now. Let's see what the wind gust graphic is showing. So still looking at 26 mile per hour wind gust in San Antonio and 30 mile an hour wind gust in Eagle Pass, 25 miles per hour in Creek Springs. Now for showers and storms moving right over South Texas right now along the leading edge, we could definitely have gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So for crazy wind gusts, it's probably either just the wind gusts in general or especially along the leading edge of storms. So that's what we're looking at. Let's see. Charlie, you're welcome. A lot of you are saying we hope it rains. Tammy saying, I hope it rains good in San Antonio. It's been so hot. I am right there with you. I ran the other day and the humidity got me. I'm just over the humidity. I can't do it. Let's see if there are any more little updates here. Aerial flood advisory, that's in effect for Dimmitt, Maverick, and Zavala counties till 11 p.m. So they've already received 1 to 2 inches in some communities there, and they could see an additional 1 to 2 inches with those slow-moving showers and storms. So that's that activity just east of Eagle Pass there. That's the stuff you see. Now we do have this newly issued severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to continue through 9:45. The main hazard with this warning will be the 60 mile per hour wind gust. And that again is going to be along the leading edge. So you'll have the high wind gusts, the wind will move through, and then you'll have the really heavy rain, probably some wind mixed with that, and then just a lot of cloud to ground lightning. Stay inside, it's probably best to just charge your phone, because not ruling out any power outages because there are so many lightning strikes out there. Just be careful, when thunder roars, go indoors. We always say that. And And then Anne also agrees with me, saying we are all done with the humidity. Just can't do it. It has just been so humid, hence the storm chances. We have just had the ingredients in place to support a lot of strong to severe storms. Let's harp on one more thing here, a few more things actually. Stay weather aware this evening. We'll be watching that severe thunderstorm warning just west of San Antonio for Sunday high temperatures. Here's your little Sunday sneak peek. High temperatures in the low 90s and upper 80s. We're not looking at heat indices triple digits. Yes, it's going to be humid tomorrow, but we only expect a heat index around 90, 91 in the city. So that's going to be a nice break there. We had an index of 98 when I started the 5 o'clock newscast. So I will take a break from that. Here is the severe weather outlook for Sunday. We're at level 1 marginal risk up to a level 2 slight risk. That includes a little sliver of Edwards County and all of Valverde County. So Del Rio are in that level 2 slight risk, and most of us, that's San Antonio, Pleasanton, New Braunfels, San Marcos, Kerrville, Bandera County. You guys are under that level 1 marginal risk. So what a level 1 marginal risk means is just some isolated severe storms will be possible. That's something we'll definitely watch tomorrow. So we still have the ingredients in place to support some strong to severe storms. Here's your rain timeline. Rain chances stay pretty high Sunday evening into Memorial Day. So a decent chance of rain Memorial Day into Monday evening. We're also going to keep that 60% chance of rain. We've already had that flood advisory in place for some of our southwestern counties. I've been talking about that. Since we already have that aerial flood advisory, we're looking at additional rainfall through next Tuesday. Pay attention to that. 3 to 4 inches of rain. Isolated amounts up to 6 inches. So yes, stay weather aware. I think flooding will be the biggest concern over the next couple of days. Let's see if this rainfall forecast graphic works here. And there you have it, just the bright oranges, even pockets of yellows, that's showing, and a lot of red. So a lot of red, me that 3 inches will be possible. Once you get into the oranges, 4 inches. So there you have it. Most of us looking at 3 to 4 inches. Not seeing any updates from National Weather Service or even any reports. What I do want to look at though is velocity here. So I like looking at this radar product because it shows us where the wind would be occurring. So right over Hondo, we're looking at decent wind gust in Hondo right now. Again, this is along the leading edge of the storm. So that's what we're looking at. Going to zoom back out, and I'm going to move radar that much, and I'll just let it loop for you. Will the storm continue through tomorrow in Uvalde? So Becky, what we're looking at is additional showers and storms are possible tomorrow for Uvalde. So we'll be watching storms to our west again, and then we'll also be watching showers and storms just kind of flare up. Just kind of pop up out of nowhere. So that's something we'll be looking out for tomorrow. There's that severe thunderstorm warning that will continue through 9:45. Again, the main concerns being 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. Not receiving any reports right now, but this warning is pretty close to San Antonio. It's just outside of Bexar County. For a lot of you wondering about timing, we've been talking about midnight, but since these storms are moving a little bit quicker to the east, they'll likely get here before 12 a.m. So we're thinking maybe 10:30 through about 11:30 in Bexar County. So that's what we're looking at. You'll get the wind, you'll get the heavy rain, and a lot of cloud to ground lightning. Uvalde, the storm is now moving out of your area. I know we've received some wind damage reports there of a large tree down, and a large tree fell onto a carport. So we'll definitely watch that report there. I just hope everyone's okay. Heard about a few, power outages, just very brief power outages. Your power goes out for 5 seconds and it comes back. So we've heard a few things in our comments here on the Facebook Live. Sarah, what about New Braunfels? And then what about Canyon Lake? So again, we'll just watch showers and storms, see if they move toward areas and hold together right now. I will say, looking at showers and storms over Bandera, south of Kerrville, they're doing a pretty good job of not weakening right now. So one thing I like to look at when I'm watching radar is lightning. If the lightning is still up there, it's still pretty strong storm. So it is possible for this rain to move into New Braunfels, but it's going to move in after San Antonio. So probably closer to 11:30, if I had to guess. Let's see. Allison, did you already say something about Bernie? I think that I've not talked about Bernie yet. Bernie could definitely see these showers and storms, I think, within the next hour is what we're thinking here.
Yeah, I know there's a bit of a gust out ahead of these storms.
Like well ahead, too.
Yeah, it's about to arrive in Comfort. So, Bernie, it's not too far from you. Lake Hills, you're about to have a gust. Hondo just experienced it, even though it's not raining in Hondo just yet. A gust of wind just moved through. Castroville, you will see that soon yourselves.
And also down into Divine, we've had a lot of questions about that area. Down into Moore, Bigfoot, Pearsall. That gust front is just northwest of you if you're in Pearsall, and just west of you if you're in Moore, and into Divine. So we have this, gust of wind, a little ahead of these storms. So that's likely where we're getting the wind threat here. So just heads up to Castroville. You could definitely see that move through here in about 20 minutes or so, if that. So I'm looking at a few radar products here. Medina receiving some pretty good rain. Bandera, you have some high wind moving through right now. Comfort, the heaviest west of you. Kerrville, you guys are literally on the edge of this storm right now. So probably just some light to moderate rain, maybe some heavy rain, and a few rumbles of thunder up into Kerrville. I know a few of you are asking about Kerrville. So right now, I guess what we'll do is just track the storm in Medina. If that one continues to hold together, and right now it's not even severe, that storm could move into New Braunfels later, about in a couple of hours. So these storms still have some time. What I'm doing is I'm looking more toward, Crystal City area. That rain isn't moving that much. It's actually just west of Crystal City, west of Carrizo Springs. There's still some very slow moving heavy rain west of you guys.
Megan, I talked about that outflow boundary, or the outflow from the thunderstorms, that strong gust of wind out ahead of it. That can sometimes signal the storms are dying. And I'm looking at velocity, and it does look like that the winds are starting to be weaker within that one severe thunderstorm warning. So I wouldn't be surprised if the National Weather Service watched that themselves and decided to possibly even cancel it early. Right now, they haven't said anything about that. But it does look like the winds are calming down to a point.
So maybe less of a wind threat, and we could see more heavy rain, if this storm holds together and moves into Barra County. But like we've been saying the past couple of hours and really all day is, these showers and storms are going to end and then, strengthen again. So that is something we'll look out for. It's been hot and humid today. It's definitely unstable, hence why these showers and storms are moving east and packing a punch. So like Andrew was saying with velocity, that's this product that you're looking at here on your screen. Reds and the pinks, that's showing the high wind. So we've seen some high wind gusts within the storm and also just on the leading edge. So what we're talking about here is we're not seeing much of that bright pink anymore. It's kind of calming down just a little bit, but we still have that severe thunderstorm warning in place.
Yeah, and even though we say it's calming down, it's likely really strong winds still. Not saying that, if you're in Honda, you're probably experiencing really strong winds. And
it's still almost orange slightly.
Yeah, but it's just not as strong as what it was earlier, of course.
Right. So let's go back to this Facebook Live here and see some questions. Looks like we've answered all the questions. Sabinal, Texas just lost all power. Maria, thank you so much for that report. I bet it's the lightning, and also the high wind can knock some tree branches down, and that can also impact, the electricity and loss of power. So keep those two things in mind, high wind gusts and also a lot of cloud to ground lightning. That's something we'll keep our eyes on for sure. So make sure you charge your mobile devices before the storm hits your area. Just giving you a really big heads up here to just charge those devices. And we'll be live on Facebook too to see if any, severe thunderstorm warnings pop up. And of course, I have the 10 o'clock newscast. So I will actually have to hop off this Facebook Live very soon. So let's see. Richard wants to know, what is the green that appears in San Antonio from the northeast? So that's going to be radar return. So it's kind of, what would you call that?
I would just say it's a false return.
Yeah, it's a false return. So it's not really looking at rain. That's not where the heavy rain is. The heavy rain, that's where you get the darker greens and where you get the yellows and the reds. So the lighter greens is just like a false radar return. The best way to put it, it's not picking up on the data that great there. Anne says, seeing lightning flashes out to the west from my porch near Somerset.
And by the way, who asked about the green showing up? That can typically happen when we have a really humid environment.
That too, yeah.
So that's something that's playing a part there.
Yeah, the humidity in the air, because it is very humid out there. So Alyssa, when is this coming? Sorry, just joined. So Alyssa, we're looking at a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is just west of San Antonio, and this warning will continue through about 9:45. So we've seen the wind calm down just a little bit, but still pretty up there. So, I mean, criteria, of course, we've had small power wind gusts, and that is going to be the biggest concern with that warning, and that is just outside of Bexar County. Well, thank you so much, Abel. That's very nice. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, it is coming over the next couple of hours. We are looking at showers and storms moving in at about 10:30 through 11, give or take on that time. And weather models, they haven't been doing a great job on handling showers and storms, at least the timing.
Yeah, they've been all over the place. From one run to the next run of the weather model, it'll show a bunch of storms at one time, and then the next run of the weather model, it'll show nothing. Mm-hmm. So these weather models have not handled it well. What we do know is that we are going to have multiple waves of showers and storms these next few days. Mm-hmm. Now, I mentioned it in the morning show that the timing may be off just a little bit. It may come a few hours earlier, maybe a few hours later. Mm-hmm. What you need to know is that we are going to have the possibility, though, for those storms.
Right. So what we're going to do here is, did they just expire this warning or?
I'm still seeing it here.
Okay, that must be an issue on our end, but they continued that severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to continue just west of San Antonio until about 9:45. So, yeah, I'm looking at a few of your comments here.
I think your watch warning may have been toggled off there, Megan.
Okay, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so that warning is going to continue through 95. That is outside of Bexar County. We'll have the latest information for you on our 10 o'clock newscast. Of course, our 10 o'clock newscast on the weekends, it's long, so we'll have multiple times and multiple opportunities to update you on what's going on and how far these storms are from San Antonio. Still a lot of moving into the Hondo area, probably looking at some high wind gusts as well because of this severe thunderstorm warning in place. We are looking at 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So frequent lightning will be a big concern. Pockets of blinding rain, probably not a great idea to head out on the roads right now. And if you're in San Antonio, you're definitely probably seeing the lightning to our west right now, even very high cloud top. So looks like all these showers and storms are moving out of Uvalde right now, starting to move into La Pryor area. So heads up to Pearsall. In the next couple of hours, you guys could receive some heavy rain and see some lightning. Hearing some thunder here in Cotulla. Yeah, definitely. We even have storms to our southwest too. So again, we have that aerial flood advisory that's actually going to be west of Cotulla, but for showers and storms near Eagle Pass, they are producing rainfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. Well, I believe 1 to 2 inches of rain has already fallen, hence that aerial flood advisory. And since storms are moving so slow, they could see an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain in that spot. So keep in mind to stay weather aware. Flooding will be the primary concern. I'm going to hop off this Facebook Live and let the radar just loop a couple more times. I'm going to get ready for the 10 o'clock newscast, but thank you so much for joining me tonight. Stay safe, charge your mobile devices just in case because of the lightning and the high wind gusts we're going to see this evening. So yeah, stay safe and we'll talk to you later.